Ryan Bell is not a good man. Ryan is the devil. I listened to the ALC of Devil by Simone. Let's talk about it. But Devil is book 4 in the pre-series. If you're not familiar with the series, it's a series of standalones that follow the 4 Bell brothers. The series follows the Bell brothers in their navigation in their romantic lives and their complicated relationship with religion. The Bell brothers had a tragic past happen in their family when they were younger, and now they're older, and that tragedy is like showing itself in how they deal with life. Devil is the youngest Bell brothers' story. It's a forbidden age gap romance. We have dubcon sexual serfdom for a contract of 1 year. Our MMC is obsessed, goal-oriented, and our FMC is so good. Truly just a wonderful human being. In the beginning of this audiobook, Sierra Simone writes a letter to the readers, basically saying why you shouldn't be reading this book. I'm not sure if this would be categorized as a dark romance, but I will say that dark topics are a major theme in this book. There's no escaping the dark topics because they're very much plot drivers in this book. So I implore you, please read that trigger warnings list. Think about Sierra's letter to the reader and ensure that you are mentally in the space to read this book. To expound on Sierra's words, Ryan Bell is not a good man. Ryan is the devil. And let's talk about that a little more. This story is about Ryan Bell, the youngest Bell brother, and Birdie. When the story starts, Birdie is like an adjunct professor at a Catholic university. She's a working artist, and the university hired her to teach some art classes. Ryan is a student at this university. He is very much so like the star pupil. He's very popular, just gorgeous, friendly. Birdie, recognizes, oh yeah, this guy is like handsome, but she is Catholic. She is such a good girl. She recognizes that he is attractive, but she would never in a million years act on that, especially as a teacher for his university. Ryan takes a special interest in Birdie, and during one fateful interaction, they get caught in a compromising situation, and that situation kind of ruins Birdie's, teaching career. And I know this is going to shock you, but the Catholic university punishes the female in a much harsher way than they punish the male. I don't know how realistic that is, but you can chime in the comments. So basically after that incident, Ryan has like a slap on the wrist and Birdie loses everything. She loses her job, she loses friends, she is kind of like left destitute as a result of this. And then we skip to 7 years later. Birdie's life has fallen apart. Her specialty in art is like religious work. So obviously if she was like run off in disgrace from this Catholic university, she doesn't have the ability to support herself the way she should have. She's working at a gas station. She's trying to support her twin sister who is a mess in rehab, trying to get her life together. And Birdie creates this masterpiece basically. She leaves it in a public place and Ryan immediately recognizes her work. He tracks her down and he gives her an ultimatum. Basically he says, become mine for 1 year. I'll pay for everything. I'll pay for your sister. You'll live with me, food, everything will be taken care of. But I want free use access to you for 1 full year. And Birdie accepts the contract. I will be the first to admit that I am an audiobook addict. I don't understand how people don't love this medium, but I will 1,000,000% say this book should be listened to in audio. If you're on the fence, absolutely get the audiobook. If you want to read this book, I 100% say get the audiobook. Megan Wicks and Jacob Morgan were fantastic. On surface level, Birdie and I have like nothing in common. She is super devout Catholic. She is like incredibly like pious. She truly believes that her work, her gift, to create art comes from God. It is a divine gift and it is her responsibility to share it with people. So on surface level, I really shouldn't be able to connect viscerally with Birdie. Between Sierra's words and Megan Wicks' performance, Birdie was somebody that I was rooting for the entire time. And then Jacob Morgan was playing Ryan. And let me tell you, the way Sierra Simone wrote Ryan is exactly how, if the devil existed, he's going to be persuasive. He's going to make you think that his ideas are actually your ideas. And that's exactly how Ryan is like depicted in this. And that's exactly how Jacob Morgan played him. This was hands down my favorite performance by Jacob Morgan. I highly recommend listening to the majority of this book by yourself. I have a very good resting audiobook face, and this audiobook tested that. Megan and Jacob were fantastic. That's all I will say about that. Devil was my favorite book in the series. I love the pre-series, but this one was just so good. I don't know what set this one apart. Obviously the voice act was phenomenal, but this entire series had fantastic voice actors. Definitely Birdie took me by surprise on how much I related to her in the end and how much I was rooting for her. And truly, Ryan is the devil. This review ran a little long. If you want to listen to the full review, I'll post it on my YouTube channel. Devil comes out today. I strongly recommend listening to the audiobook. It was absolutely fantastic. I am floored by this. This was one of the best audiobooks I've listened to all year. I highly recommend it. Until next time, guys. Bye.